Okay. So back to the action it is. And, yeah, the natives just decimated the colonies with a bunch of raids. So we have to try and overcome that. Next turn, we have the this is why I don't like autofocus. I don't know why it has to do that. Stop it. Okay, so I think the card that we just completed was this one. So now we're on to this Battle of Moore's Creek Bridge. And first in order is the British. And British are currently one of the two eligible factions. So, as always, let's check out the AI sheet. See if they do this event. They are allowed to do it. Opposition now is just barely higher than support. And event shifts opposition in royalist favor. No. Event places British pieces from unavailable. No. Event places Tories in active opposition with none. Let's see. Where's active opposition? Do we not have active opposition on the board anymore? It's all passive, I guess. Okay, so that's none, or that doesn't work. Event inflicts rebel casualties. I don't know if replace is a... I don't know if replace counts as a casualty. I'll check the rulebook, see if it says anything about replace. Just says between available and map is what replace means, so I don't think that would cause casualties. British control 5+ cities. The event is effective in a D6 rolls. So do they have control of 5+ cities? They have 1, 2... Oh, cities. I always forget. Cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They do. So then I have to check and see. Oh gosh, now what am I checking? I need to check the event effective AI effective chart thing. What effective actually means. I assume effective means that it just would actually do something. So it says ineffective event. If an event after any event instructions are taken into account would have no effect at all, or where the only effect would be to remove one or more friendly pieces without replacing them with other friendly pieces, or the event shifts the difference I'm going to say that it's an effective event, and then we roll a d6, and on a 5 or plus, we actually will be doing this event for the British, which, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if that's good or not for me. But let's just see if it's even relevant. It's a 6. So the British will be doing this event. And now I have to figure out how to pick the spaces. Oops. So it says in one space, replace every militia with 2 Tories. That's actually potentially really devastating for me. I assume it's maximum effect. But let me just read what the rules say if they talk about how to prioritize a space. Okay, so select spaces for shifts in support or opposition within the above. If applicable, select event spaces to ensure that as many forts / in villages than other pieces as possible are placed, removed, or replaced. When moving any pieces, use the priorities 8.1.2. If friendly pieces are to be removed and there is a choice, remove the other faction's pieces. I'm trying to understand. In any one space, replace every one militia with 2 Tories. So would it automatically be the place with the most, which is New Hampshire? Because there's 2 in New Hampshire. So it's for event placement. Place, remove, or relocate as many pieces as events availability and stacking allow. When allowed and unless otherwise specified, non-player factions place or move friendly pieces from out of unavailable, then from available. Non-player, as far as possible, place friendly forts, villages, and So I think event placement, place, remove, or relocate as many pieces as events availability and stacking allow. And in this case, when we look at the board, the only space that I have 2 militia in is New Hampshire, and that means the most Tories that could be placed and the / most militia that could be replaced is there. So I'm going to take away 2 militia, and then I put 2 Tories or 4 Tories down, and I don't understand if I use unavailable or available. I always thought unavailable was unavailable, and then the rules are now saying, well, use unavailable if available. And I'm like, well, I thought unavailable meant unavailable. Really wish someone knew the answer to this. If anyone's watching, there's so many available Tories right now. I don't know if it matters, so I'm just going to take them from available. And I know then that does change control. So all of that talking and thinking just for that. Which means British took the event, which means now it's the Patriots and they can do a command and special activity if they wanted to, and that's definitely what I'm going to do. So it's time to look at the Patriot menu again, and man, God, there's so many Tories that just popped up in New Hampshire. And now I'm having a resource problem again. I'm looking at New York to potentially put a fort there. Because persuasion, up to 3 colonies, cities with rebellion control and Patriot pieces, including for each select add 1 Patriot resource and activate at night. But do I have? I do have. Yeah, I have 3 possibilities where I could do this persuasion. In Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Connecticut. Oh, geez, I think I lose. Yeah, I lose control now of Delaware, and I lost control of Pennsylvania. Because of those war bands. Oh, wow. Oh, it's even now in New York. So New York, yeah, it's even. So getting control in New York might be kind of nice. If I do and I can't even remember what all these leader abilities are. What does Brant even do? Oops, Brant would have moved with we'll say Pennsylvania. I can't remember. Jeez. Thought there was 2 natives that must have dispersed. at some point, and now I'm blanking on where they would have gone. It looks like, I think they went to Massachusetts and Pennsylvania because of a raid. And now I have to double check. Oh, leader movement. During campaign, Royalists accompany the largest group of units from their faction that moves from or stays in their origin spaces. Well, in this case, both of those. I think it's of dice, 50-50. If in the case, non-player leader movement. During campaigns, non-player leaders follow the largest group of units from there. If two or more such groups are of the same size, select which one the leader joins randomly. All right. So, remember, I'm still learning. We'll do a quick die roll to figure that part out. 1 through 3, we'll say Massachusetts. 4, 5, 6, Pennsylvania for Brant. So Brant ended up going to Massachusetts. Man, I'm going to use overflow A for Massachusetts because it's messy. So right now I'm just moving all the pieces up to overflow A for Massachusetts since it was starting to get way too crowded there. I'm going to keep the raid there. Okay, so back to my menu options for the Patriots. So New York looks like a juicy spot to try to take advantage of how weak it has become. And I'm wondering if I want to battle. But battling... Oh yeah, what was Brant? The other thing I wanted to do is just check what this Brant guy's ability was. Warpath removes 1 additional militia in the space. God. I don't think they did Warpath. That's something I gotta have to remember moving forward when there's a leader. And Washington's ability is win the day in the space, -1 to defender, loss level, winner bit. So win the day is a way to get morale. I'm wondering if I just, I gotta look up this battle sequence of play to understand. Oh my gosh, battles sound so complicated. I'm really tempted to do a battle in New York with my one resource. I just need to. Maybe I just go for it and don't read through the battle procedure and just hope everything works out. I think I'm just going to do that because it's too much to read and then actually do. I think I'm just going to take the chance. I have Washington there, so I get a double benefit if I do the win the day thing. So then it's just a matter of if I do another ability before that, my special activity before that, which I might want to do. And special activity, use Continental to strike British pieces. So any but not in a battle. Oh, I can't do it in a battle space. No wonder. I was about to say I'd do this before the battle, but I can't do it before the battle, probably for this very reason. I think then in that case I want to do the battle first and see what happens, and then to use that to determine what I want to do next. So I don't know if I have good odds here. Maybe it's not a good fight for me, because it's just straight up 4-on-4. And I'm trying to understand for the loss levels. So it's a random. I think it's essentially. If defending include all sides cubes. Okay. So it'd be 1 die each, and then it comes down to modifiers. So for me, at least half are regular, so there's +1. 1 attacking piece underground, so that's +2. At least 1 attacking leader, that's 3. I don't think there's no forts. It's not an Indian reserve. And then attacker loss will at least half pieces regular. No, at least 1 defending side piece underground. No, at least 1 defending leader. No. British defending. No. So I think I have a good chance here. All right. So let's follow the procedure. I spend a resource. We're going to be attacking in New York. I'm just going to go through the rule book step by step for battle, so I do it right. It's taking way too long for me to find battle in the rule book. It was such a big section and now I can't find it. Battle procedure. Okay, factional decisions. Attacking is found before, blah, blah. Attacker then defender calculates their own force level. Choose whether or not to activate any of its own side's underground units. War parties, if British attacking, or either British or Indian defending, or militia, if Patriots paid, or either Patriots or French defending. Add half, rounding down, active war parties, or militia to own cubes. Okay. If British attack include towards, okay. If rebellion attack, if that faction paid, if defending include all that side's cubes, forts, and half of active militia war parties. Okay. So at half. So I think it's 3 verse 4. All right, so this is going to be the Patriots die roll. I mean, this is a big deal here. So it's a one-sided die. I mean, we'll do both at the same time. Why am I not? We have blue and we have red. So of course, red or blue's rebellion. Red is the royalists. You take the force level, which is 4, and then for each, and then divide by 3, rounding down, which is 1 for each, which is then why each side only is getting 1 die. Or sorry, it's 3 for me, 4 for the British. Wow. Okay. This is gonna be brutal, I think. So roll the dice. So my 3 then becomes add at least half attacking pieces, which is regular, is +1, so it's 4. At least 1 attacking side piece is underground, which is that there's a militia, but that's underground, so that's 5. Attacking leader, we have Washington, so it's 6. So I'm at 6. The British rolled that 3, but they don't have half the defending pieces as regulars. They don't have an underground piece. They don't have a defending leader. Removal. Attacker, then defender, must remove own pieces with values totaling their modified loss level or more, if negative. For purposes of determining the number of pieces to be removed, regulars contents force each count as 2 losses, and all other pieces count as 1 loss each. And then pieces are removed, the priorities below. Rebellion alternate, removing 1 French regular, then Continental, then an active militia. Once exhausted, if and only if rebellion defending forts. Ignore underground war parties and underground militia. Okay, so the underground militia isn't available as a casualty. So I'm losing 2 cubes because I'm taking 3 and I have to satisfy that then with 2 cubes, so my total casualty goes up to 5. Now the British they alternate 1 regular, so they have to take a total of 6 losses, and they have 1, so that's everything. So that's adjust the CBC, and so then the cumulative British casualties go up 4 to 6. Wow, okay. That's cool. Now win the day. Battle winner, Battle winner potentially adjusts support opposition. Win the day occurs only in battles with loser removing a cube or a fort, loser removing 2+ pieces, and not in the West Indies. Winner is the side losing the fewest pieces unless one side is eliminated, in which case the surviving side is the winner. Defender is the winner if equal. So shift support opposition levels in the battle space by half the number of pieces the loser removed, rounding down. to a maximum of 3 levels. If all shifts are not possible in the battle space, British or Patriots may use remaining shifts in adjacent spaces. Wow, okay. If Rebellion's winner, Patriots may free rally in any one eligible space, and French may move any blockades from the battle city to another city. Wow. This is cool. So, this, I was like, oh, Washington's not even going to be able to use his ability, which is double rebellion, win the day. And the win the day is 2 because they lost 4 cubes. Half the number of pieces the loser removed. They lost 4. Half is 2. Washington doubles that. So it's 4. Which means, first of all, I'm going to take control of New York. Second of all, I get to adjust that New York to active opposition because for the 2 levels in the battle space of New York, which now takes total opposition back up to 11. And now I can spread that good news of Washington's victory to the neighboring colonies. Does it matter where? If all shifts are not possible in the battle space, may use it. So I'm just wondering, do I add them both to Connecticut or one to Connecticut, one to Massachusetts? Do I want to add them to New Hampshire? Man. I think I'm going to do one to Massachusetts. So I bump up 2 more. And then 1 level to Connecticut for passive. So I go all the way up now. Oops, sorry, I wanted to show this. I went all the way up now to 15 on this track, all because of that great battle in New York. I mean, we lost a couple continental cubes, but their sacrifice is really paying off for the Patriots. And then, if Rebellion the winner, Patriots may free rally in any one eligible space. God, it's just like, man, battling. At first I was like, I don't know if I want to battle. It doesn't really seem to directly help me. But this battle result is being free rally. Okay, so location. Any spaces without active support. Militia may not. So 1 resource per space. Oh, and it's free, so I don't even have to pay because I don't have any cash right now. Place 1 militia or replace 2 units with a fort. So I'm looking at Pennsylvania, get back control there by placing a militia. Massachusetts looks so safe now. Or I could add a militia to New York City to kind of buff New York City. Having control back, though, in Pennsylvania or Delaware could be useful. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm overlooking something here. If Patriot Fort okay, I'm thinking about starting to overthink this, but I'm gonna put militia in Pennsylvania, which gives me control back of Pennsylvania with those 2 militia there. I could replace 2 units with a fort, but I just don't think I have enough units on the board right now anywhere else to justify that other than Massachusetts, which already has a fort, and I don't think having 2 forts in Massachusetts is meaningful right now. So, wow. Bravo to George Washington. That was a fantastic, really fantastic outcome. Glad I did the battle. So, assuming I did it right. So we're back in business here. So let's go back to the... Oh, actually, before I do this, we'll put British and Patriots back to ineligible, and French and NATO's back to eligible factions. So we now take the next card, which is this Tyrant Plot. Flip. Tyrant Plot is telling us that the first faction eligible is... Oh, and I got a... Oopsies. Something I've been horrible at was looking at the brilliant stroke. So when do the British play their brilliant stroke? Use after Treaty of Alliance if British leader with 4+ regulars and rebel player is first eligible, or Patriots play their brilliant stroke. I just want to double check the rules to see if they discuss these brilliant stroke cards in more detail. Non-player French plays the Treaty of Alliance as soon as they are eligible, and the sum of squadrons, blah blah blah. Non-player factions will not play any other brilliant stroke events until the Treaty of Alliance has been played. Okay. So I guess I don't have to worry about that right now. So going back to the card order or faction order, British don't go. Then it's the French. Do the French want this card? Remove all Tories in New York or in one adjacent space. And that's not an issue anymore because New York is all cleaned up, or in one adjacent space. Woo! Getting rid of all of those Tories in New Hampshire. I don't know if it's very powerful. I don't know if I have to care about New Hampshire having a bunch of Tories in it. But just getting rid of 4 cubes sounds nice. And again, does remove mean anything important? Does remove mean casualty? I don't think so. Because if I don't do that, then as always, as the French, what what will I have them do instead? Um, I mean, they do have removed 2 Patriot pieces in New York or New York City. If they don't take the event, I actually kind of want to see if the Indians are going to take this event, if they have the option. So, won't shift favor. Event places at least one Indian village. It won't do that. Event removes a Patriot fort. It doesn't. Event is effective. 4+ villages on the map and a D6. So the Indians would not be playing this event. So I don't have to worry about losing my control in New York that I just fought for. So then I don't think the French really care about those Tories. They need it. It doesn't really help them get on the game on the table. So I'm not going to force them to do that. And which means, since I'm not worried about the Indians getting the event, I will have the French do a command and special activity. So I put command and special activity for the French. Now, in terms of what they're going to do, they'll be ready potentially after this turn. I'd love to. It'd be nice if they can get resources. Increase Patriots by the cost +1. So I can give the Patriots 2 more resources so the Patriots have something to do on their turn, for example. Quebec, New York, New Hampshire, or Massachusetts. Boy, place 2 militia in Quebec. Don't know if I care about Quebec. New York. Care about New York. 2 militia would be nice. Or 1 continental. Don't know if it's worth 1 French resource. New Hampshire. New Hampshire's it doesn't. I'm giving up on New Hampshire. They can have New Hampshire. Or Massachusetts. Massachusetts already has a decent amount of forces, so I'm not too concerned there. So I don't think French agent mobilization is worthwhile, so I'm going to do the Rodrigue Hortalaz et Sea thing, which knocks down the French 1 to 1, which then puts the Patriots back up to 2 resources. And then for their special activity, they're going to do the prepare for war action. And they can move 3 French regulars to available, which means they're now at 16 and can use their Treaty of Alliance. Ooh, I messed up because cumulative British casualties. Crap. Maybe I messed up. Well, whatever. We'll see. Maybe not. Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, and then 14 plus 6 is actually 20. So they're at 20, which is definitely enough for that Treaty of Alliance. So I was wondering, maybe I should have played that right at the start of this campaign, or this round. And wow. Okay, so it is what it is. I didn't play the Treaty of Alliance for the French. They did their actions. So I'll sleep okay at night, I guess. And then the Indians will do event or limited command. We already did the faction, the tree for the decision tree for the Indians to figure out if they're going to use this or not. But they care about opposition change, which doesn't do that. Places Indians in one event, places at least one Indian village, which it doesn't. Removes a fort, which it doesn't. So because of that, we move on down the line here. Support plus 1d6 is greater than the opposition. So support right now is only at, if we look at the map here, support's only at 4. A d6 only would put it at 6 on a d6 is only 10, so still less than opposition. So, support greater than opposition. That's a definite no. So they raid. And I can't remember if they can raid with no resources. Yeah, they... So I don't think they raid because they don't have the resources to do that. So then they gather, which is place villages, wear room, and 3+ war parties, which Gather. Place villages where room. So they could replace 2 in Quebec. I don't know why there's that random. So gather is place 1 war party. Alright, I gotta read it from the book. It's not quite making sense to me in the flow chart. Gather. If the Indians did not select raid and gather would place 2 or more villages, or a D6 is less than blah blah. Gather in up to 4 spaces as follows. Place a village in each space with room. And they can only do 1 province because it's place a village in each space with room for 1 and at least 3 war parties. Then place war parties at villages. Then, if any villages are available, place war parties in up to 2 spaces with room for a village. So, gather. Place 1 war party or replace 2 with a village. If village means stead, either. So I think it's place village where room. So I'm just going to place it, but I assume now so I'm pretty sure I'm taking out 2 of the war bands and replacing them with a village in Quebec. The dumb question I have now is, do I take out the active warband before the non-active? Which I am 99.9% sure, yes. Then active before underground militia. That's what I was looking for. The rules do specify that. So they're going to take these 2 militia from Quebec and place down a nice village. I thought there was a token for tracking Indian village success, but they still have a ways to go. Okay, so then they also do their gather with a special action. Which would be Warpath. If Indians' resources equal 0, trade, if possible. Otherwise, Warpath. If underground war parties at any first request resource from the British. So, I'm pretty sure the British. Let's see what I don't know if a roll is necessary here for this. If the roll is less than British resource, so if the roll is a 1, it's not. It's a 3. So because of that, then the trade, I think, is just... Then it's just a trade. Okay, so there's 2 village areas on the board, Southwest and Quebec. The chart doesn't specify if it's equal what you would do. So that to me just means you randomly decide 1 through 3 will be Quebec, 4, 5, or 6 Southwest. 1 through 3, so it was a 2, so that means Quebec will then activate. And then the natives go up 1 resource on the resource track and are back to 1. And that concludes the native turn. They're starving. Like I don't know if I'm doing something wrong for the native faction in this game, or if this is kind of par for the course for the natives, because they're so low in resources and they're just not able to really get their engine going. So, but yeah, that's their turn. So French natives back to ineligible. British patriots back to eligible. We move into the next campaign, and I think I'm going to call it a night with that turn. It's getting a little late. I played this. I don't know how long off and on I've been playing this today, but seems like it's been several hours throughout the day. But definitely, wow, I'm really getting into it. I really appreciate the fact that it feels so thematic. Like I had all the success gaining support for the colonies after I did. What was that one action where I was like, man, I'm just popping up militia all over the place. The I did that persuasion, and maybe I did persuasion wrong. Or maybe it was rabble rousing. Yeah, maybe I did persuasion, then rabble rousing. Or I'm not sure what I did, but point being is I got all this excitement going for the rebellion, and then immediately the natives came and raided all the success I had away. And then it wasn't looking so exciting for the Patriots in the rebellion. And then I decided to have Washington go after the Royalists sitting in New York, and had a great victory. And now everyone's excited about the rebellion again. And the French are very close to being ready to getting on the map, which is really exciting because I'm looking forward to seeing how they'll be able to support the cause. The natives had that successful raid action, but other than that, really have been quiet. And again, I'm not sure if they're going to really be able to turn it around at this point or not. And then the British are almost non-existent at this point. It's crazy to say. I don't know what... Again, if I've been playing the game wrong, or if the actions they've been doing just by chance haven't been very strong. But, you know, this game is very swinging. In one action, you can go up this the support/opposition track a ton. It's funny how that can happen. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for anyone out there watching. And stay tuned for more Liberty or Death, probably tomorrow at some point throughout the day. So, see you guys.